Reagan's fingers trembled as she typed the message into her phone. The screen's glow the only light in her dim Boston apartment. Marley, I miss you more than words can say. Today was hell without you. She hit send, her heart pounding like it always did. Knowing no one should reply. Marley had been gone for 6 months, killed in that senseless car crash. But then, as always, the dots appeared and a response came. I miss you too, Reagan. Tell me about your day. How was this possible? Reagan's mind raced back to the funeral, the closed casket, the finality of it all. She had started texting Marley's number out of sheer grief. A way to cling to the woman who had been her everything. The one who made her feel seen in a world that often looked away. Marley, with her infectious laugh and unyielding spirit, had been the anchor in Reagan's stormy life. They met in college, 2 girls from conservative families, drawn together in secret glances and stolen moments. But now these replies, they felt like Marley, the phrasing, the emoji she used to love. Was it a glitch? A cruel joke? Reagan's stomach twisted. She couldn't stop, even if it tore her apart. That night, she poured out her soul. The argument with her boss, the loneliness of the city streets. The replies came swiftly and pathetic, just like Marley. You're stronger than you think, it said. Remember that time we hiked in the Berkshires? You pushed through the rain. Reagan's breath caught. Only Marley knew about that trip, the one they kept hidden from their families. Her parents, devout Catholics from a small town in Pennsylvania, had never accepted her orientation. It's a phase, her mother had said when Reagan came out at 19. Pray it away. Marley had been her rebellion, her truth. But doubt crept in. Who was on the other end? Reagan's inner voice screamed warnings. This is madness. You're unraveling. She thought of Marley's family, the Harringtons, wealthy and influential in New York. They had disowned Marley when she came out, cutting her off financially, forcing her to scrape by on scholarships and part-time jobs. Marley had confided in Reagan about the pain, the rejection that fueled her determination to live authentically. They think love like ours is a sin, Marley had whispered one night, tears in her eyes. But it's the purest thing I've ever known. Reagan paced her apartment, phone clutched like a lifeline. She typed, "Who are you really?" The reply, "It's me, babe. Why would you doubt?" Her heart soared and sank simultaneously. This had to be a hack or worse, someone impersonating Marley to toy with her. But the details, the inside jokes, the pet names were too precise. Reagan's mind whirled with possibilities. Marley's phone wasn't deactivated? Or had someone found it? She recalled the crash. Marley driving home from a late shift, a drunk driver slamming into her. The police said she died instantly. No survivors, no mysteries. Yet here were these messages pulling Reagan back from the brink. She had quit her job as a graphic designer after the accident, unable to focus, her portfolio gathering dust. Friends urged her to move on, but how? Marley was her first real love, the one who challenged her fears. We don't need their approval, Marley had said when Reagan hesitated about going public. But they never did. Fear of backlash kept them in the shadows. The next morning, Reagan stared at the conversation thread. Over 100 messages since the funeral. Each one a dagger and a bomb. She decided to test it. What was our song? The reply. Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. We danced to it in your dorm. Correct. Reagan's pulse quickened. This wasn't random. It was deliberate. But why? Her thoughts darkened. What if Marley's family was behind this? They hated her influence on Marley. Mrs. Harrington had once called Reagan, that deviant girl corrupting my daughter. Reagan's resolve hardened. She needed answers. Ignoring the ache in her chest, she grabbed her keys and headed to the cemetery. Marley's grave a stark reminder. Kneeling there, she whispered. If you're really gone, why does it feel like you're not? No answer from the stone, only the wind. Back home, another message waited. Don't give up on us. Us? Reagan's world tilted. This impersonator was crossing lines, invading her grief. Days blurred into nights of obsessive texting. Reagan's inner monologue raged. You're pathetic, clinging to a ghost. But it's her voice, her essence. What if miracles exist? No, that's denial. Face reality. She confided in her best friend Lisa. Over coffee. Someone's replying as Marley. she said, voice shaking. Lisa's eyes widened. Reagan, that's creepy. Block the number. I can't. It feels too real. Lisa sighed. Grief does weird things. Remember my aunt? She swore she saw her husband after he died. Turned out to be stress. But Reagan knew it wasn't that. The replies evolved, sharing memories only they knew. One night. I regret not telling my parents about us sooner. Marley's actual regret voiced in tears. Reagan's suspicion grew. Only someone close could know this. She dug deeper, searching Marley's old emails, finding nothing. Then a breakthrough. Marley's phone was with her effects returned to the family. Could they have it? Reagan's mind spun conspiracies. What if they were using it to manipulate her, to drive her away from Marley's memory? The tension built as Reagan confronted her own family. Calling her mother, she tested the waters. Mom, I still miss Marley. A pause. That girl was trouble. God took her for a reason. Reagan's anger flared. Love isn't trouble. You need therapy, not delusions. Hanging up, Reagan felt isolated. Society's whispers echoed. Lesbian love is fleeting, unnatural. She had faced stares in public, holding Marley's hand. Now alone, those judgments amplified her pain. One evening the reply shifted. I need to tell you something important. Reagan's breath hitched. What? I'm not who you think. Her world cracked. Who then? The chase began. Reagan's decisions pulling her into a web of deceit. Reagan's fingers flew across the screen. Who are you? Stop this now. But the reply came calm, almost mocking. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Meet me at our spot in Central Park tomorrow at noon. Our spot, the bench where they shared their first kiss, hidden under autumn leaves. Reagan's heart hammered. This was escalation, from digital ghost to real threat. She debated all night, her mind a battlefield. This could be dangerous, a stalker, a hacker profiting from her pain. But what if it led to closure? Marley's death had left unanswered questions. Why was she driving so late? Was there foul play? The police dismissed it as accident, but doubts lingered. Reagan's inner voice urged caution. Don't go alone. You're vulnerable. But curiosity won, she needed truth. Arriving in New York the next day, Reagan scanned the park, nerves electric. Families picnic, joggers passed, normalcy mocking her turmoil. At the bench, a woman sat, back turned, hood up. Reagan approached, voice steady despite fear. Who are you? The woman turned. Mid-30s, sharp features, eyes like Marley's but colder. I'm Elena, Marley's sister. Reagan froze. Marley never mentioned a sister. That's impossible. She was an only child. Elena smirked. Half-sister. Dad's affair. Marley found out last year, kept it secret. Doubt surged. Prove it. Elena pulled out a photo. Young Marley with a girl resembling her. We reconnected secretly. She didn't want family drama. Reagan's world spun. Why hide this? Marley's trust issues ran deep, rooted in parental rejection. Why text me as her? Elena leaned in. Marley asked me to. Before she died. What? She knew her time was short. Health issues, undiagnosed heart condition. The crash wasn't just drunk driving. She blacked out. Reagan recoiled. Lies. Autopsy said nothing. Family covered it. Reputation. Anger boiled. Why impersonate her? Marley wanted you to move on gradually. She recorded messages, details. I used them. But it felt wrong, manipulative. Reagan's thoughts raced. This violates everything. Marley's love was honest. This is betrayal. They talked for hours. Elena revealed Marley's struggles. Pressure to conform, therapy sessions hidden from Reagan. She loved you but feared losing you to her baggage. Reagan's heart ached. She had sensed Marley's distance sometimes, chalked it to work. Now it clicked, internal conflicts, societal weight. As lesbians, they navigated minefields. Job discrimination, family estrangement. Marley's job at a conservative firm demanded secrecy. Why meet now? Reagan asked. You're spiraling. Marley wouldn't want that. But Reagan saw cracks. Elena's motive seemed self-serving. What's in it for you? Elena hesitated. Inheritance. Marley left you something. Family contests it. Ah, the truth. Greed. Reagan's disgust grew. This wasn't about helping. It was control. Back in Boston, Reagan researched Elena. Online traces. LinkedIn profile, New York address. Half-sister confirmed via old records. But why the deception? Reagan's inner monologue tormented. You trusted a ghost. Now face the living liar. She confronted her own ethics. Continuing the text was wrong, yet comforting. Stopping meant final goodbye. Society judged. Move on, find a man, settle. Her aunt once said, "It's easier that way." No. Reagan chose defiance. She messaged Elena directly. "Stop or I expose you." Reply. "You wouldn't." It had hurt Marley's memory. Stalemate. Tension mounted as Reagan dug into Marley's will. Lawyer confirmed. Small bequest to Reagan challenged by Harringtons. They claim undue influence, he said. Undue? Their love was pure, yet labeled corrupt. Reagan's rage fueled action. She met Lisa again. It's Marley's sister faking replies for money. Lisa gasped. That's sick. Sue her. But legal battles meant outing their relationship publicly, facing scrutiny. Reagan weighed costs. Emotional toll, family fallout. Her parents called unexpectedly. We heard rumors, Dad said. About you and that girl. Who told? Doesn't matter. Come home, get help. Rejection stung anew. Reagan's thoughts. They see me as broken. But loving Marley fixed me. Days later, Elena texted. Meet again. I have proof Marley wanted this. Reagan agreed, suspicion high. At a cafe, Elena showed emails. Marley instructing post-death messages. To ease your pain, Marley wrote. Tears fell. Was this love or control? Marley protecting her or denying reality? Reagan's decision loomed. Accept the facade or shatter it. The price, her sanity, their legacy. As conflict deepened, Reagan uncovered more. Elena's financial woes, motive clear. Betrayal cut deep. One night alone, Reagan whispered to Marley's photo. Did you really plan this? Silence answered, amplifying doubt. The web tightened, pulling Reagan toward confrontation. Reagan stared at the emails Elena provided, her hands shaking as she scrolled through the dates. Months before the crash. Marley's words leaped off the screen. If anything happens, keep Reagan connected. She'll break without me. It was Marley's email, her style, but the intent felt off. Marley had always preached honesty. This scheming from beyond the grave contradicted everything. Why didn't she tell me? Reagan demanded, voice cracking in the crowded cafe. Elena shrugged. She knew you'd refuse. Thought it was Kinder. Kinda? This prolonged agony was torture. Reagan's mind churned. Marley, you underestimated me. Or did you fear my weakness? The revelation amplified her inner conflicts. Grief mixed with anger. Love tainted by manipulation. Back home, Reagan pored over old texts with Marley, searching for clues. Subtle hints emerged. Promise you'll be okay without me. At the time dismissed as morbid humor. Now ominous. Marley's health secret gnawed at her. Why hide it? Fear of pity? Or protecting Reagan from worry? Societal pressures loomed large. In America, where same-sex couples fought for rights, but prejudice persisted. Marley's firm had a family values clause. Outing could mean firing. They lived double lives, public friends, private lovers. The strain showed in arguments. Why can't we be open? Reagan once yelled. Because the world isn't ready, Marley replied, eyes pleading. Now that caution extended post-mortem. Reagan felt betrayed yet understood, the armor against judgment. Elena pushed. Sign this waiver. Drop the inheritance claim, and I'll stop the texts. Blackmail. Reagan's ethics clashed. Take the money, honor Marley's wish? Or fight, expose the fraud? She consulted a lawyer friend, Alex. This is coercion. We can build a case. But it'll drag Marley's name through mud, tabloids, homophobic spins. Alex nodded. True. Media loves scandalizing queer stories. The moral dilemma weighed heavy. Reagan's thoughts. Is preserving dignity worth the lie? Or truth at any cost? Family interference escalated. Her brother, Tom, visited unannounced. Mom's worried. Says you're obsessed with the dead girl. Her name was Marley, Reagan snapped. Tom sighed. Look, I get it. But this texting thing? Creepy. Move on. Easy for him, straight, married, accepted. Reagan's isolation deepened. Societal norms favored his path. Pushed, she confided in Tom about Elena. His eyes widened. That's twisted. Confront the family. Idea sparked. Reagan drove to the Harrington estate in the Hamptons, heart pounding. Mrs. Harrington answered, face stern. What do you want? Truth about Elena and the texts. Mrs. Harrington's composure cracked. Elena? That bastard child. Confirmation. She's impersonating Marley to manipulate me. A flicker of surprise. Marley mentioned you. Said you were special. Special like a disease. Did you know about the emails? No. But Marley was weak, influenced by your kind. Rage surged. Our love wasn't weakness. Mrs. Harrington sneered. It killed her, stress from hiding. Blame shifted. Reagan's inner voice. Don't let her win. But doubt seeded. Did our relationship contribute? Leaving Reagan felt damaged. The drive back, tears blurred vision. What price for love in a hostile world? Elena called. You went to mother? Big mistake. How do you know? Family spies. Paranoia set in. Was Reagan watched? The drama intensified, choices fraught. Deciding to fight, Reagan gathered evidence, screenshots, emails. But ethics tugged. Exposing this hurts Marley's memory. A turning point. Dream of Marley pleading, let go. Waking, Reagan questioned. Message or subconscious? She met Elena one last time, park bench again. I'll sign if you admit the truth. Elena confessed. Marley didn't plan it all. I added parts for leverage. Betrayal confirmed. Reagan's heart shattered anew. You used her death for gain. Elena's eyes hardened. Survival. Family cut me off too. Sympathy flickered. Another victim of rejection. But actions unforgivable. Reagan walked away and signed. The cost. Ongoing battle, emotional scars. As high noon approached in her soul, Reagan chose exposure, ready for fallout. Reagan's decision to expose Elena ignited a firestorm she hadn't fully anticipated. She contacted a journalist friend, Sarah, who specialized in LGBTQ+ stories. This is big, Sarah said over the phone. Family deceit, inheritance battles. It's a window into queer erasure. But it'll out Marley completely, Reagan worried, her voice trembling. Sarah paused. Isn't that what she deserved? Visibility. The moral quandary deepened. Marley had craved acceptance but feared repercussions. Now, posthumously, Reagan held the power. Her inner thoughts battled. Honor her privacy or fight the system that silenced her. The story broke online. Dead woman's sister impersonates her to swindle grieving partner. Comments flooded. Supportive from allies, vicious from trolls. Typical lesbian drama, one read. Should have stayed in the closet. Reagan's phone buzzed nonstop. Her boss called. This publicity might affect clients. Subtle threat, job online. Societal backlash hit hard. Even progressive Boston had limits. Family reacted predictably. Mom emailed. You've shamed us. Parading your lifestyle. Dad. Come home. We'll fix this. Fix. Like a defect. Reagan's isolation peaked. Friends distanced, fearing association. Elena retaliated, suing for defamation. Court dates loomed, forcing Reagan to relive grief publicly. Testifying, she choked. Those texts were my lifeline, then poison. Judge's eyes softened, but law was cold. Elena's lawyer painted Reagan as unstable. Obsessed with a dead woman. Humiliation burned. Reagan's mind screamed. Was this worth it? The price, dignity, peace. Amid chaos, a surprise. Marley's old colleague Jamie reached out. Marley confided in me. She was planning to come out at work. Revelation. Marley evolving, braver than known. She said you gave her strength. Tears came. Perhaps Reagan's fight honored that. But damages accumulated. Therapy sessions drained savings. Nightmares plagued sleep. Inner monologue. You chose truth, now pay. Harrington settled quietly, dropping contest. Reagan got the bequest. A modest sum, symbolic victory. Yet victory felt hollow. Elena vanished, perhaps broken too. Reagan pondered. Did I destroy her for justice? Post-scandal, Reagan rebuilt. New job at an inclusive firm. Therapy unpacking layers. But scars remain, trust issues, fear of love. One evening, staring at Marley's photo, Reagan whispered, "Was this what you wanted?" No texts now, only memories. Society's gaze lingered. Dates hesitated upon hearing her story. Too much baggage, one said. Reagan's resolve. Embrace it. She volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers, sharing her tale. Love demands sacrifice, she told groups. But doubts persisted. Did exposure liberate or exploit? A new connection emerged. At a support group, she met Taylor, another widow. Shared pain bonded them. Tentative dates, no pressure. Taylor asked, "Regret anything?" "Everything and nothing," Reagan admitted. As feelings stirred, old fears resurfaced. Family, society, would history repeat? High stakes. Open heart again, risk loss. Reagan chose yes, but cautiously. Their first kiss under stars echoed Marley's but new. Yet past haunted. An anonymous text. "Watch your back." Elena's revenge? Paranoia returned. Confrontation brewed. Reagan tracked Elena online, finding her in California struggling. Empathy clashed with anger. Message sent. "Why?" Reply. "You took everything." Dialogue opened wounds. Elena. "Marley was my only family. You stole her legacy." Reagan. "Love isn't theft." Resolution elusive. They parted enemies. Reagan's awakening. Pain forges strength, but at what cost? As story crested, Reagan faced ultimate choice. Forgive or forget. Reagan's life post-scandal settled into a fragile rhythm, but the echoes of betrayal lingered like shadows in her mind. She threw herself into advocacy, speaking at panels about grief in the LGBTQ+ community. "Our loves are policed even in death," she declared to applause, but inside, she questioned her own hypocrisy. Hadn't she policed Marley's memory by exposing it? Taylor became a steady presence, her calm demeanor a counter to Reagan's storm. They navigated dates with honesty. "I'm scared," Reagan confessed one night over dinner. "Of what?" "Losing again. Or worse, hurting you with my past." Taylor squeezed her hand. "Past makes us. Let's build future." But family pressures mounted. Reagan's parents invited her home for Thanksgiving. A olive branch laced with conditions. "No talk of that," Mom said. "That? My identity." Silence. Reagan declined, choosing solitude over suppression. Inner voice. "You're cutting ties for principle, but loneliness is the toll." Society's undercurrents surface too. At work, whispers. "The girl from that lesbian scandal." Promotions bypassed. Subtle discrimination. Reagan fought back, filing complaints, but exhaustion set in. Moral fatigue. Is constant battle living? A pivotal moment. Elena resurfaced via email. "I need help. Broke alone." Audacity stunned. Reagan's thoughts. "She destroyed me, now seeks mercy?" They met virtually. Elena, gaunt, broken. "Family disowned me fully after the suit. Why contact me?" Marley would have wanted reconciliation. Manipulation again? Reagan probed. "Admit your wrongs." Elena did. "I twisted her wishes for greed." "Sorry." Forgiveness dangled, tempting for closure. But trust shattered, Reagan declined aid. "Heal yourself." The choice haunted. Mercy or justice? Muddled lines. As months passed, Reagan's relationship with Taylor deepened, challenging old patterns. An argument erupted. "You still text her number?" Taylor accused, finding old logs. "No. It's over." But emotionally? Truth, Marley lingered. Reagan's confession. "She was my first. Hard to erase." Taylor's pain mirrored Reagan's past. Betrayal cycle? They worked through therapy aiding. Reagan's growth. Vulnerability as strength. Yet societal divides persisted. A bill in Congress threatened rights. Reagan protested, voice among many. Personal climax. Visiting Marley's grave, Reagan laid flowers. "I forgive you for the secrets, the plan. But I choose life." Epiphany. Love's price is ongoing but worth paying. Taylor proposed cohabitation. Reagan accepted, a step toward normalcy. But twists remained. An envelope arrived, anonymously. Inside, Marley's unseen letter. If you're reading this, I failed to tell you everything. Love you eternally. Tears flowed. Finality yet open-ended. Reagan shared with Taylor strengthening bond. Stories are complete. Reagan reflected on journeys, loss, deception, awakening. In the end, was holding on to the past a mistake or the path to truth?